A very good evening and welcome to RTV News in English with me, William Evans Mtawazi, beginning with the headlines. The Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement has emphasized that elders and leaders must have a shared understanding of Rwanda's history so they can help young generations learn it correctly. While political and economic experts have recommended the National Dialogue Council Umushikiano as a major platform that puts citizens at the center of development. Outside Rwanda, William Evans Mtawazi, and now this is the news in detail. The Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement has emphasized that elders and leaders must have a shared understanding of Rwanda's history so they can help young generations learn it correctly. This was highlighted during the presentation of the National Unity Outlook for 2020-2025 to the Senate. On Wednesday, the Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana, informed senators that although national unity among Rwandans stands at 95.3%, some areas still show traces of genocide ideology against the Tutsi. Citizens express appreciation for the government of Rwanda for promoting unity and ensuring a strong sense of security across the country. Senators asked the minister about efforts to train teachers who teach Rwanda's history, as well as measures taken to support individuals who have completed sentences for genocide-related crimes, while statistics show that out of 60,000 people who completed their sentences, 34% have not yet fully changed their mindset. Dr. Bizimana explained that research conducted over the past 5 years revealed gaps in the teaching of Rwanda's history. He added that the ministry is strengthening programs to educate former convicts to support their reintegration into Rwanda's society. According to the ministry's research, national unity stands at 95.6%, while reconciliation is at 95%, resulting in an overall national unity score of 95.3%. These achievements are attributed to good governance and programs promoting social cohesion, including non-ethnic saving groups, various associations, and the National Dialogue Council Umushikiano, which allows citizens to contribute ideas for national development. Now, Rwanda and the American company Zipline, which provides services for transporting blood and medical supplies using drones, have renewed their partnership agreement, expanding it to include delivery of commercial goods across the country. We do have details to this report.
Zipline has been operating in Rwanda for the past 10 years, providing services to transport blood, medicines, medical equipment, and livestock semen to various parts of the country using drone technology. The agreement between Zipline and the government of Rwanda has now been updated to include the establishment of a new Zipline distribution center in Karongi district, from where the drones will operate to deliver these supplies. The Deputy Director General of the Rwanda Biomedical Center, Jean Umuhire, noted that the opening of a Zipline hub in Karongi district will further speed up the services provided by the company.
They're operating in two localities, so they had two hubs, first in Muhanga, then in Kayonza, and now they're going to be setting up in Karongi. Being able to serve the western localities or western territory or basically the western territories of the nation. So that's really going to be expanding access to the commodities that they're able to transport to even more people.
As part of the expansion of Zipline's services, the United States government has provided $150 million, equivalent to over 150 billion Rwandan francs. Part of this funding will be used to build the Zipline facility and a drone airfield in Karongi district. The country manager of Zipline Rwanda, Pierre Kaitana, pointed out that under the renewed agreement, the company will begin a program to transport commercial goods, including deliveries to the city of Kigali.
Is coming in addition to the distribution center that we have in Muhanga district and Kayonza district. We will have 3 distribution centers and be able to cover Rwanda 100%. We thank the government of Rwanda for the renewed partnership. And in addition, even more exciting is that part of the agreement includes that by 2027, Zipline should be introducing drone delivery in the city of Kigali and become the first country in Africa to have the technology to deliver home delivery, healthcare delivery at home, at hospital, within an urban setting like the city of Kigali.
Caitlin Burton, the CEO of Zipline Africa, notes that Rwanda proves to be a promising business partner due to its investor-friendly environment.
The Rwandan government operates a lot like a startup, a lot like us. They move quickly, they are decisive, they make fast, high-quality decisions. You can reach them at all times of day. They understand the urgency, and they act with entrepreneurial urgency to build something with us. They are willing to figure out, they kind of lead with yes. They're willing to figure out how to try new things and make investments without kind of compromising any of their policies or regulations or safety standards or anything like that. And so to us, it's an ideal partner because they're willing to actually work with us. They're not permitting something to happen skeptically. They are in the trenches with you, trialing it and learning from it with the intention of using it if it works. And so Zipline owes a huge debt of gratitude to the government here.
Zipline began operating in Rwanda in 2016. It currently supports the delivery of medicines, blood, medical supplies, and livestock semen across the country. Previously, the company had distribution centers only in Muhanga and Kayonza districts.
Thank you, Olive Nete. Now, investors from Rwanda and Brazil have committed to strengthening a cooperation for the benefit of citizens from both countries, with a strong focus on agriculture and livestock, with Brazilian investors pledging to ensure a steady supply of affordable animal products on the Rwandan market. We do have details to this report.
Brazil is the world's leading producer of coffee and also ranks first globally in poultry production. This South American country is among the top nations in breeding heat-resistant cattle with high milk yields. Gabriel Morelli Ribeiro, a marketing executive at ABPA, a Brazilian company specializing in poultry farming and trade of chicken, turkeys, and other edible birds, said this was his first visit to Rwanda. He assured that Brazilian companies are ready to supply affordable, long-lasting animal products to the Rwandan market.
First of all, I just have to make compliments to you all. The city is amazing. It's very impressive. The country as well, like everything that happened in 30 years to become what it has become is just impressive. Before coming, I knew about the sad story of the genocide and also about the gorillas. But I had no idea it would be such a developed city, such organized and clean, neat, everything very, very impressive. Goal in here is to seek partners to buy more Brazilian meat, and also for us to develop the market with good genetics from Brazil, which is the largest exporter of chicken in the world. So we have a lot of experience producing chicken in tropical country. Tropical weather. Yeah. So the main problem I see the African countries are facing is the low productivity in comparison to Brazil and other countries. That doesn't help to guarantee the food security. So as our government says, it's our mission now to help to guarantee the food security in the whole world, either by exporting food that are very accessible to everyone, and also to helping countries to develop their own technology appropriate to the weather and climate that they are involved.
The Brazilian ambassador to Rwanda, Her Excellency Irene Vidagala, pointed out that agriculture will be among the priority sectors under this cooperation, given Brazil's strong expertise in the field. She emphasized that the first agricultural investment project has already been approved.
have heard about the GACO project, for instance, that may be signed. We expect it to be signed by the end of this month. It's a 50 million project of Brazilian investment here in the area of beef. So this is just the one that's very ready to be signed. But what is coming, I think, we have not only agriculture that's quite strong, but I'm expecting good results in the area of pharmaceuticals and cooperation between institutions in the area of controls and regulations for the pharmacy industry. What I should really say is that people who are here and had never been, they are so well impressed with the dialogue they had with counterparts, the presentations that were made here. But also, of course, and you people from Rwanda, you know this, when people come here, they feel so impressed, so well impressed by the city, what they see. So I think that we have a very good, at the end of the day, we are going to confirm that it was a very wise idea to come to Rwanda in this mission. And I think the very important announcement that was made by the president of the Brazilian Agents for the Promotion of Investment Exports was that they intend to create an office of this institution here in Rwanda. They were thinking where to have it in East and Central Africa, but the president, Mr. George Viana, he said that he knows it's going to be Rwanda.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Rwanda Development Board, Jean-Guy Africa, assured investors that Rwanda is ready to support them in overcoming any challenges they may face, and that the country also offers easy access to other regional markets.
Think of Rwanda as the place where you can expand from in East and Central Africa. The place where it will be easiest to start a business. It takes 6 hours. I invite many of you to test my hypothesis and what I'm advancing here. But we've also structured the government as a machinery to be as responsive as possible to investors. And the promise of the Rwanda Development Board, of government, is to make it as easiest as possible for you to operate here. For us to achieve that objective, we've centralized a number of services within our one-stop center. So we have a one-stop center and we regulate multiple mandates, but the vision of the one-stop center, which brings together 20 agencies across the government and provides in excess of 400 services, the vision was that when the investor comes and steps into the Rwanda Development Board, he or she should never have to go anywhere else for licenses, services, permits. So we provide in excess of 400 services, licenses, and permits within the Rwanda Development Board. And so let us use today's forum as a bridge, a lasting bridge for commerce, investment, and innovation between Rwanda and Brazil, a bridge that creates jobs, strengthens value chains across both of our countries, and contributes to the sustainable growth of both of our countries.
Cooperation between the two countries was formalized through the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Apex Brazil, the Brazilian Trade and Investment Promotion Agency, and the Rwanda Development Board. Apex Brazil also signed a separate cooperation agreement with the Private Sector Federation of Rwanda. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive. Now let's turn to political and economic experts that say that the National Dialogue Council, Umushyikirano, has become a platform that puts citizens at the center of development through programs and resolutions adopted to improve national development and the well-being of the population. Adams Kwizera.
Since its first edition in 2003, the National Umushyikirano Council has served as a solid pillar for jointly seeking solutions to promote development and improve citizens' livelihoods. Programs such as Murenge Sako, Giringa, which is 1 cow per family, and others stemmed from resolutions adopted during various sessions of the National Umushyikirano Council. The Giringa program was designed to boost the economic development of vulnerable households and combat malnutrition. The program contributed to an increase in the cattle population, where by 2024, the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources reported that more than 452,000 dairy cows of different breeds had been distributed to the citizens across the country. Some beneficiaries say that the program has significantly improved their living conditions. The VUP, which is Vision Munenge program, is also among the initiatives originated from Mushyikirano, with citizens testifying to its positive impact. Ambassador Harebamungu Matthias says that the resolutions adopted during Mushyikirano have contributed to improvements in key social indicators, including life expectancy, which increased from 48 years in 2003 to nearly 70 years today.
Ubuzima bw'u Rwanda bw'Abanyarwanda
Life expectancy stood at 48 years, but it has now risen to nearly 70. At the same time, the fight against malnutrition has significantly reduced child mortality, with deaths of children under 5 dropping from 155 per 1,000 to 33 per 1,000 by 2023. These achievements are largely attributed to programs such as Girinka, among others, which have played a major role in shaping Rwanda into the country we see today.
The country's GDP has also continued to grow, reaching 5,505 billion Rwandan francs in the third quarter of 2025. The state minister in charge of National Treasury, Godfrey Kabera, stated that among the achievements resulting from Mushyikirano resolutions is the increase of foreign direct investment, which has reached to $35 million. Political experts and economic analysts say that there is much to celebrate from the outcomes of Mushyikirano, including the renewed spirit of self-reliance among Rwandans, which gave rise to Agaciro Development Fund.
In this way, Rwandans came to understand that national unity had been achieved. Everyone rejected being undermined by foreigners and instead began focusing on how we can think for ourselves and thrive without depending on the will of others.
Economic development, governance, and social welfare are among the key focus areas of the National Mushyikirano Council. The council brings together top government officials and Rwandans within the country and abroad to assess achievements, discuss existing challenges, and identify strategies to further advance the nation. The government of Rwanda established Mushyikirano as an innovative, homegrown solution to align national development programs with Rwanda's history and values. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams Kwizera. Now, owners of garment and footwear manufacturing industries say that they are striving to fully satisfy the domestic market at 100% by 2029, up from the current 5%. This comes 10 years after the government of Rwanda decided to discourage the importation of second-hand clothes and shoes in order to promote products made in Rwanda. Enora Gladys.
In 2016, Rwanda made a decision to promote domestic industries that manufacture clothing and footwear in large quantities and with improved quality. However, these industries still do not satisfy the local market, as they currently cover only 5% of the demand. The manager of one of the garment manufacturing factories, Jean-Isaac Ndayisenga, affirms that providing uniforms to schools and government institutions is one of the steps toward meeting the needs of the domestic market.
Today, we have a partnership of 10 institutions as public institution, which is good. It makes us to the encouragement in made in Rwanda. That is, the partnership will show us the good collaboration, because to reduce some uniform imported from outside. So another thing the government introduced is to make the uniform of school. That is good initiative.
Meeting the needs of the domestic market would help save between 17 and 20 billion Rwandan francs that is currently spent on importing those clothes from abroad. Economic expert François Kanimba, who was the Minister of Trade and Industry when the government decided to promote products made in Rwanda, highlights that the country had a gap in skilled workers needed to work in these industries.
We agree that consideration should be given to establishing a specialized vocation school in Rwanda to train Rwandan youth in various fields related to garment and textile industry. What is encouraging is that the investors in Rwanda responded positively to this initiative.
Currently, 2,500 workers are employed in 70 large and small factories across the country that produce clothing known as Made in Rwanda. On this Wednesday, an additional 80 young men and women who have completed 6 months of training are also expected to help these industries increase production both in quality and quantity.
Made in Rwanda is progressing very well, and that is why I chose the tailoring profession, so that I too can be able to develop myself.
The 2024-2025 report of the Ministry of Trade and Industry showed that production in the clothing and footwear industries did not increase due to reasons explained by the Minister, Prudence Sebahizi.
When you go to Kigali Industrial Zone, we have a factory where one section previously burned down, and they are now constructing a new building so that they can continue expanding their production. The factory that relocated is Iteksidwa, which has now moved to Rwamagana. However, during this relocation process, some machines have been stopped to work, some are being transferred while others are new and need to be installed. Therefore, the production that is used to come from Iteksidwa is not reflected in the figures we have announced.
The value of Rwanda's locally manufactured clothing industry increased from 34 billion Rwandan francs in 2017 to 154 billion Rwandan francs in 2024. Meanwhile, the value of clothing made in Rwanda that is exported abroad rose from $3 million in 2016 to $12 million in 2023.
Gladys Enora. Now, the UN Women Country Representative in Rwanda, Ms. Janet Kem, has called on partners involved in women's development to strengthen unity and work together to ensure that the achievements made so far are preserved. She made the remarks during the launch of a 4-year strategic planning framework aimed at advancing the empowerment of women in Rwanda. The 4-year plan runs from 2025 to 2029 and has a total budget of $6.3 million with $3.5 million currently available. Ms. Janet Kim, I beg your pardon, emphasized the need for new resource mobilization strategies with active involvement of various development partners.
We have signed an MOU with Equity Bank. We've signed one with the Central Bank of Rwanda, the National Bank of Rwanda, and we are working with the I&M Bank and other financial institutions to see how we leverage the resources that they have, working together to support women in the farms, women on the markets, women entrepreneurs. So it is no longer about what volume of money UN Women has in its accounts. It's about UN Women leveraging expertise, leveraging partnerships, coordination, systemic changes to ensure that money, wherever it is, works for women, works for men, works for boys, and works for girls.
Now, the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, Console Uwimana, pointed out that the time has come for Rwandans to generate their own solutions and mobilize internal resources rather than relying on external funding. Child Protection and Promotion Manager at CLADO, a civic society Coalition for Human Rights Promotion, Evariste Murwanashyaka, expressed optimism that the implementation of this strategic plan will bring tangible progress for women. The strategic plan was unveiled during a meeting that brought together development partners, including representatives from various government institutions, the private sector, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders. That brings us to the end of tonight's news in English. I'm William Evans. For me and the rest of the team, have a good night. Goodbye.